Hello primary 6 students. Today we will start the second unit in our curriculum, which is thermal energy, and our lesson today is heat conduction. The word heat. Everyone probably knows something about heat. We often use this word to describe something that feels hot when we touch it, or to describe a hot day. To understand what heat is, you have to know that it is first a form of energy. As we studied in primary 4, that there are many forms of energy, like sound energy, light energy, and heat energy. So heat is a form of energy. We can describe heat or define heat as it is a form of energy that transfers from high temperature object to low temperature object. It is a form of energy that transfers from high temperature object to low temperature object. Have you ever touched a hot pot that was on a stove? What happens when you touch it? It burns your hand because that the heat energy is transferring from the hot pot to your hand. Your hand was much colder than the hot pot. Heat energy always transfer from higher temperature object to lower temperature object. So we can say that heat is a form of energy that transfers from higher temperature object to lower temperature object. Then we will talk about the importance of heat in our daily life. Heat is very important, in which we use it in cooking. It's very important in our daily life because we use it in cooking and also in warming the house, heating the water, drying the washed clothes, and many usage in industry in which some food or some types of food need heat, and also in manufacturing of papers and glass. So we can say that heat is very important in our daily life, and it's very important for the industry. It's a form of energy that transfers from higher temperature object to lower temperature object. Temperature. What is temperature? How can we describe the temperature of object, or if this object is hot or not? We have to know that the temperature, it is a degree of hotness or coldness. So the degree of hotness or coldness of the body is called temperature. Temperature is the degree of hotness or coldness of object. And all of us knows that we measure the temperature by a device which is thermometer. The measuring device of temperature or the measuring devices of thermometer of temperature are thermometers. The next point, we can classify elements or materials according to conducting heat into good conductors of heat and bad conductors of heat. Elements and heat conduction. Some materials allow heat to flow through, or the good conductors of heat feel hot very quickly, though they allow heat to travel through them, while the bad conductors are materials that stop heat energy from moving in it. It stops heat energy from moving in it. So, can heat travel through all materials? Of course not. Some materials allow heat to travel, and some other and if you touch them you will feel them warm, and others don't allow heat to travel, and if you touch the top of them you will feel them cold if you put it in, or if you put them in boiling water. So we can say that not all the material allow heat to flow through them. Some of them let heat flow through and they are called heat conductors, and others don't allow heat to flow through and they are called bad conductors or heat insulators. So we will classify elements or materials into heat conductors and heat insulators. Then we will study the definition of each of them, the usage of each of them, and also life application. How can we benefit in our life from heat conductors and heat insulators? Let's study first the heat conductors. Elements can be classified into conductors and insulators. We will start with heat conductors. We can say that heat conductors, they are materials that let heat flow through. For example, we can say that all metals are good conductors of heat. All metals allow heat to flow through, like iron, aluminium, copper, and stainless steel. We have give reason question here. Copper is heat conductor. Copper is heat conductor because it allows heat to flow through. And also aluminium, iron, and stainless steel are heat conductors because they allow heat to flow through. Another question. Can we say that all materials transfer heat with the same rate or with the same speed? Can we say that materials are similar in conducting heat? It means that all of them conduct heat with the same speed. Let us make a small activity in which we will bring three metallic racks. We will bring two metallic racks and the three metallic rods. One of them made of copper, and the other one is aluminium, and the third one made of iron. So we will bring three metallic rods and we will stick an office pin on one tip of these rods and put the three rods on the two racks as shown, in which one of the ends where the end that doesn't contain the office pin is exposed to flame. The end that doesn't contain the office pin exposed to the flame. Then we will calculate the time taken for each office pin to fall down. We will see that the office pin, which is sticked in the copper rod, fall first. After this, the aluminium one, and finally the iron one. So we can say that copper conducts heat faster than aluminium, and aluminium conducts heat faster than iron. So we can say that metals are different in conducting heat, which means that some metals conduct heat faster than the others. Copper conducts heat faster than aluminium, and aluminium conducts heat faster than iron. Metals are different in conducting heat. Then, life application on heat conductors. We can say that the railway bars, which is made of heat conductor substance, they have to leave spaces between the bars. They have to leave spaces between railway bars, because this iron is good conductor of heat, and we can say that materials expand by heating and contract by cooling. So if this iron expand, if there is no spaces, it will twist by heat and it may cause train accident. So leaving spaces between railway bars, which are made of iron, to avoid train accident, because iron is a good conductor, so it expand and it twist by heat. Give reason: leaving spaces between railway bars. Huh? To avoid train accident. To avoid train accident. Leaving spaces between railway bars to avoid train accident, as iron is good conductor of heat, so it expands and twists by heat. What about the usage of good conductors of heat? We can say that aluminium and stainless steel are good conductors of heat, which are used in making cooking pots, and also they are used in making the iron and the kettles. So good conductors of heat like aluminium and stainless steel are used in making cooking pots or cooking utensils, kettles, and iron. So we talked about the first type of materials which allow heat to flow, which is known as heat conductors. They are materials that allow heat to flow. We studied the examples of heat conductors, and we said that not all the material conduct heat with the same speed, or we can say that metals are different in conducting heat. Then we studied life application on heat conductors and the usage of heat conductors. Then we will move to the last part in our lesson, which is heat insulators. Heat insulators are materials that don't allow heat to flow through. So heat insulators, they are materials that don't let heat to flow through. And we have many examples. Heat insulators like glass, wood, rubber, wool, gases, and plastic. So they are materials that don't let heat to flow through. Don't let heat to flow through. Life application on heat insulators. We will study the insulating glass window as a life application on heat insulators, in which in cold countries people benefit from air as an insulator by making insulating glass window, in which it is made by bonding two glass sheets and leaving a space filled with air between them. So it is made by two glass sheets and there is space that filled with air. So we have 3 layers of insulators: glass, air, glass. 3 layers of insulators. Give reason. In cold countries they make insulating glass window to prevent leakage of heat, to prevent heat from going out, because heat transfer from higher temperature object to lower temperature object. So the insulating glass window is a life application on heat insulators. Then finally, the usage of heat insulators. Of course, we use wood and plastic as a heat insulator to make the handles of cooking pots, and we can say that the wool, which is heat insulator, is used in making heavy blankets and woolen clothes. Wool, which is heat insulator, is used in making heavy blankets and woolen clothes. Give reason. Wearing a woolen clothes, or we use heat insulators in making heavy blankets and woolen clothes to keep the body warm and prevent leakage of heat. I think it was a very easy lesson. Thank you for listening. See you in the next lesson.